Hello, this is Ryan Farley for Wayne Valley Television. Today we have a fencing match, and it's sure to be an interesting one. And thank you for tuning in. Today's matchup is Wayne Valley versus Fairlawn. And you can hear the excitement from here, folks. For Wayne Valley Television, and joining me today is Ezra Yildiz.
Hello.
Today we have a matchup of Wayne Valley versus Fairlawn.
Starting on right is Wayne Valley, and on left is Fairlawn. So we're starting with Saber, and it is a duelry weapon. It is actually the fastest paced weapon.
How much practice goes into Wayne Valley's practice for Saber especially?
Much practice. We practice every single day doing drilling, fast drilling. For Saber, we especially work on a lot of foot techniques, arm techniques.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it in your players, really.
Yeah. You can see the director pointing his hands to whoever is winning. Right now it's 4-2 with Fairlawn. The point on Fairlawn again, winning the bout, 5-2, Fairlawn winning.
Good sportsmanship on the handshake. Always love to see that, especially with Wayne Valley.
Yeah.
You know they're good for it.
Yeah. Now we're going with Nikki. She's a junior. This is her third year of fencing, second year on varsity. She has placed second in counties. This was an off target.
And are they dueling sabers again?
Yes, this is the second saber round, second out of third. We're just testing now. With Nikki winning the point.
What does testing involve?
Testing is indicating if you have if your lame and your head cord and everything's on check.
Oh, awesome.
As you can see, he just said attack was parried on Valley. A parry is a block. As you can see, he just said simultaneous. That's when both players hit at the same time. Point going to Valley, making it 3-2. Point on Fairlawn. As you can see, Fairlawn is bending her blade to get longer control.
What's the score right now, do you know?
The score is 4-3 with Valley winning. Final point going on Valley with a parry repost, which is a block and attack forward.
That'll put us to 5-3 for that bout.
Now on round is Julia. She is a junior. This is her 3rd year. She interestingly has an advantage for being in ballet, which performs with delicacy, and she has more of a graceful attack rather than a slash.
Yeah, what a weirdo.
Point going on Julia. There's a parry repost, 1 point on Valley.
Currently 3 Valley and nothing to Fairlawn right now.
1 light going on Fairlawn, making it 3-1.
Fairlawn's got to be looking to pick up those points right now.
Sure is. As you can see, Julia is trying to imitate her blade, so it really tricks the other person to where she's gonna go.
Fairlawn's just got to keep it on the offensive, get that last point, and tie it up.
1 point going on Valley, making the score 4-2.
And for Fairlawn, that's going to be a lot harder to pick up that point. It was a 1-point deficit before, now it's 2 points. The other question is, no, Fairlawn's not going to be able to.
Valley wins the bout, 5-2.
This is senior Alyssa Toy stepping up.
Alyssa is in her 4th year. She's a captain of foil. This year, actually, she came in 3rd in counties. Her record is 17-5, which is an outstanding record at this age. She next year is going to winter for ROTC nursing in the military. As you can see, the director is placing an indicator which sees if the blade is in right condition to fence. And now they're testing. Their points target area is the gray area, which is the torso. Starting with me is Natalie Katuna. She's also a foil. Right now we're starting with Alyssa Toy. She is in her 4th year of fencing. She's the captain of foil, and she came in 3rd.
Oh, hi, I'm Natalie Katuna. I'm going to be announcing the foil bout from Alyssa Toy and the visiting team. All right, looks like they're about to start.
Alyssa is going against Helena Heedman in Fairlawn. Contrary to Saber, foil is more longer. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes, maybe.
All right, the block is good, so that's a point to Alyssa on the Valley side. It's 1-0. Last shot was off target, so no point. Target's off target. Sorry. He said target's off, so sorry. Okay, the block is good. So that's a point to Fairlawn.
So how does one get a point in foil?
To get a point in foil, there's right of way in foil. So one would have to either beat or parry, so like block and then go in to get the point. So it's different than other weapons where in other weapons there isn't as much right of way.
Oh, okay.
So like right there, it was blocked and then she went in so that she would get the right of way since she was last person blocked.
Oh, is that called a parry repost then? Okay.
Because the parry is the blocking and then the repose is when they go back in, like they reevaluate themselves.
Okay.
All right. Alyssa just got the point through a block and then a strike to the chest.
The score is now 2-all.
With 2:18 left. That was a simultaneous shot. Both girls hit each other at the same time, so the right of way was unclear. Right there was a very clean shot to the Fairlawn side. There was no blocking, just clean shot to the chest. Shots off target. This is a rather pretty vicious bout, wouldn't you say, Ezra?
Yeah.
Oh.
You can see they're out to get each other.
Yeah, they sure are into it. That was, last point was a block and then in, so that's a point to Fairlawn, making it 4-2 Fairlawn.
Fairlawn stepping up their game.
Now, Alyssa from the Valley side just got a point through a clean shot, so that's 3-4. Oh, there's the end of the bout. It is 5-3, Fairlawn wins. That was a really good bout.
Yeah. Now in fencing, you have to score at least, the whole team actually has to score at least a 14 to win the match per se. But the overall scoring is 27. Whoever wins 27 wins the match.
And then the individual bouts that add up to the larger score are composed of 5 points in foil and saber, but can go higher in epee.
Yes.
Sometimes they're 3 points, but not usually. They're 5 points in professional bouts. Who do we have here?
Now is Ashley. She's a sophomore, and this is her first year on varsity. She takes private lessons, which proved her much improvement. This year she made finals in districts, winning in 9th and counties in 5th, which was a 4-way tie.
That's really good. They just started. Now there's 2 minutes and 45 seconds left, and there are no points yet. That's a pretty clean point to Ashley. There didn't seem to be any right of way or any blocking. Just a direct shot. This is a pretty interesting technique from the girl on the other on Fairlawn.
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to intimidate each other.
There was a block right there, and then the other girl went around the Fairlawn, went around the blade, and went back in to get a point, making it 1-1 with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. There's an attack, and then a block, and then someone came back around, making one side off target, moving their blade out of the way, making the Fairlawn side win the point. That was, both attacks went in, but the Ashley on the Valley side missed, and now they're, the girl on Fairlawn went in and hit her, and it was a pretty direct shot to the chest, making it 3-1.
Yes, now the coach is calling a timeout.
Timeout with 2 minutes
and
left.
5 seconds remaining.
This is another pretty hectic
Intense,
bout, I have
yes.
to say.
Now the coach is giving advice on what she should do.
Let's
They're
hope
going
this.
back.
Let's hope this gets them tied up to make it a more tight bout.
Yes,
I have faith that it will.
me too.
Wow. The director's hesitant on this one.
It's called simultaneous.
Simultaneous, both salute. Ooh, that was a very
Point on
good.
Valley.
That was a very good around the blade in shot for Ashley. 2-3, Fairlawn. Ooh. Off target, attacks off target. That was pretty interesting, like almost flush, but not really. She kind of jumped.
And what is a flush?
Flush is when one person. Oh, that's a point for Ashley through a block and then in.
3-all.
3-all, yeah. But a flush is when you're not allowed to cross your feet, except for when you do a flush where you cross your feet and go off the strip, which is where they fence on.
Oh,
So,
okay.
because you're not allowed to hit from off the strips, you have to hit them like before.
Okay.
It's a really difficult move, but some people can figure it out. If you do it right, it almost guarantees a point.
She almost got the point.
Yeah, off target last.
Point going to Michelle Kogan on Fairlawn. Now the score is 4-all.
1 minute 30 left. That was like a very interesting shot right there. It was
Very
off target,
intense.
but it was interesting. The attack is good on the Fairlawn side, making it 5-4. It was a very interesting kind of around the blade and lower shot. Since Ashley's arm on the Valley side was higher to go in, she went lower and kind of got her from under, so she didn't really see it.
Okay. The director is putting an indicator.
Since fencing has a lot of electric involved with the scorekeeping and all of the equipment in bouts, they have to test, which is when they hit each other to make sure the scorekeeper, not the person, the machine detects that both have good scoring.
Now fencing is Nina and Ulinit Ferguson from Fairlawn, and Lena is from Valley. Nina is in her first year in varsity. She's been fencing for 3 years. She works really hard, and in control and controlling the blade of the other team.
She just did that right there, actually. She just won the last point by beating or hitting her opponent's blade out of her way, so she could go in for a very clean shot, giving her the first point of the whole bout. This sure is tense, wouldn't you say, Ezra?
This is very intense. Foil is very intense blade. Leaves you in
Nina
suspense.
Nina just had a very good point right there. Went around the other girl's blade and up more, so she got the point, making it 2-0 Valley with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left.
Nina again getting the point, making it 3-0.
That was a really good point. She kind of paused for the other girl to go in and then beat her and went in really fast, since Nina is a shorter person. So she has that quickness.
She has advantage.
Yeah.
Fairlawn needs to step up their game.
That's
They're losing
true.
by 4.
4-0 right now, top of the second minute.
Now the coach on Fairlawn is calling a timeout to give her advice on what she should do.
Rather quickly, though.
Yeah.
Very aggressive intimidation sort of strategy on the Fairlawn side. You can see her stomping in, and she's beating the blade and hitting
very
the blade out of the
strategic.
way. Last point was they both hit at the same time, but one was off target. Nina's was off target on the Valley side. So Fairlawn got the point for that one, since it was on target for her.
Oh, okay.
Last point was simultaneous, but since the girl on Fairlawn had the right of way by beating the blade and going in, she got the point, making it 4-2 Valley with 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Oh, that's the last point. Nina just won with a nice in, then going around the blade, then back in.
Yes. Winning against Lynette Ferguson from Fairlawn.
That was a really interesting last point, because she kind of, it was a technique that worked for her a lot. She had been doing it a lot. A lot of people do. It's a really good technique.
Yes.
Kind of going around to kind of get the other opponent's blade out of the way while also confusing them a little bit
Yeah.
and going back in to get them.
It's very strategic. Now we're starting with épée. Now épée is an entire body target area, including the feet and the hands. Starting with épée from Valley is Kat DeStefano, and from Fairlawn is Faith Keenan. Kat DeStefano is in her second year of varsity. She's a junior, and she's very successful in her years of fencing. Now they're just testing each other.
And they're going to get ready to fence.
Yes.
I think this is going to be a really interesting bout.
Yeah.
Both the girls seem really enthusiastic.
épée is also very strategic.
Yeah, it's slower than the other two. Saber's very fast, foil's kind of in the middle, and épée with also the, in some cases, highest scoring. Sometimes it can go above 5, unlike the other ones. Ends up being the slowest because it is the most strategic, since you have more ground to hit while also more ground to defend,
Yeah.
since it's a whole body hitbox, which is actually really difficult. So épée fencers are usually very strategic.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. In an épée bout, you really have to plan before you go on, so you know what you're going to do, and you have to know your opponent when starting the bout.
That's true. You have to pick up their little mannerisms. Yeah,
Yeah.
what they do. First point goes to Fairlawn with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left.
The overall score is 3-all.
Second point just went to Catherine on the Valley side through a beat and then in. We see a lot of different strategies right here, like where on Fairlawn she's kind of waving her weapon so as to distract and kind of intimidate her opponent, while on the Valley side she seems more composed and kind of like introverted, just kind of like waiting to strike. That point goes to Catherine on the Valley side.
Making the score 2-1 on Valley. épée is also a very intimidating weapon.
Yeah, since, like I said before, you have your whole body to cover. They can hit you
Yeah.
anywhere from your foot to the top of your head. which is one of the things that makes it the most unique from the other weapons.
Yeah. There's also floor touches too, which
Yes, that's really, that sounds
Yeah.
really difficult.
in epee both opponents can get a point. This is called
A double touch.
double touch. Yes.
Yeah, so that's if in other weapons where, if you've heard us call the simultaneous before, that's where both girls hit at the same time in foil or saber. Unless there was right of way in foil, then there's no point. But in epee, what's so interesting is that that's called a double touch instead of a simultaneous.
Yes.
And they both get the point. Right there was a very interesting shoulder technique. She hit her in
It's
the
very
shoulder.
used in epees.
Yeah, from Catherine DiStefano, making the score 3-1 Valley with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, this is very suspenseful.
Yeah, there's not that much time left. Double touch. Making the score 4-2 Valley. 20
Yeah.
seconds left in the bout. These girls got a rush.
Yeah. As you can see, they already are trying to get the point.
Double touch. That double touch just won the game for Catherine, making it 5-3. With only 21 seconds left. They really did.
Pump up their game.
Yeah, they did. They didn't get a point for the first 2 whole minutes, and then in the last minute it was boom, 6
Yeah.
points.
Now they made the overall score 4-3.
Valley winning 4.
Yes. Now up is Zoe Cronin. She is actually the overall captain in Wayne Valley. She's a senior, and this is her 4th year of fencing. She has won the Novus Award her freshman and sophomore year. She won counties last year. She was a 2016 county champion. And also, she led the team to be first in districts and counties. So you can see there's a very strong epee team here. They're all working together to get the leading point.
What's interesting about testing in all of the weapons is in foil, when you test, you hit the other person's target area to see if the light lights up, to see if that means you get a point, because if it lights up, then you get a point. But in epee, you actually test against your opponent's bell, which is the hand guard, if you will, of your weapon, to make sure it doesn't light up.
A point just went to Zoe.
Last point just went to the Fairlawn side.
Fencing on Fairlawn is Anissa Özbek.
You could tell both these girls are very strategic in their moves. Every move seems very calculated.
Yeah.
That last point was a double touch, making the score 2-2.
Epee is more relaxed.
Yes,
They
it
have
is.
very tense areas.
Except for when they're almost out of time.
Yeah. Really think about what you're doing before you make the attack.
Last point just went to Zoe Cronin on the Valley side, making the score 3-2 Valley, with 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining.
Yes.
Wow, that was a really interesting point. I think she hit the bell of her opponent's
you
weapon.
can actually hear it too if you listen closely.
Yeah, making the score 4-2 on Cronin, on Cronin
On Valley.
Valley side. Well, Zoe Cronin's side. And
She
just
just won
now,
the bout.
she just won the bout with a double touch, making the score 5-3 with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left.
And the winning went on Valley. Now up is Christine Hamza. This is her 3rd year. She has won 2nd individual for districts this year, and she's very successful in fencing too.
Yeah, she did really well in counties a couple weeks ago. All right, I think we're just gonna test now,
Yep.
and then they'll
Testing
get ready
the bell.
to fence.
Testing. Yep.
I think it's interesting how they test to make sure it doesn't light up, whereas
Yeah.
in foil or saber, you test to make sure it will.
Yeah.
And here we go. Just started. The clock starts. Oh,
Her glove was
Oh.
equipped.
director called a timeout and went in to check the Fairlawn fencers glove, make sure her body cord was in place.
Yeah, which it wasn't. So he's
It was
fixing it
not.
right now.
Fixing it right now, pulling it through, and gonna plug it into her weapon so we can continue to fence.
So you see, you need to be really prepared before you go on.
Yes,
Make sure your
especially
cords
now.
are on.
I always forget my body cord. I don't know about
Me
you.
too. I always forget the head cord.
Yeah, usually I just leave it hooked onto my thing.
Yeah. I see Christina is trying to intimidate her.
Yeah, Christina has a very intimidating kind of beat, if you can hear it in the background, very
Yeah.
clashing of weapons. Beat, and she goes around. Wow, that was a really interesting
Yeah.
point. She was beating, waited for the other girl to like kind of open up her chest to go in, and went in faster, making the point go to Christine's side on Valley,
Yep.
making the score 1-0 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
The way to intimidate is tap on each other's blade.
Yeah,
So
if you
it looks
kinda-
like you're going, but you're really not.
Yeah, at some points you might hit the other person's blade out of the way to intimidate them and also get them off their game and open up their
Lose
chest so you can
control,
go
yeah.
in. Last point was another above the blade, so blades were meeting, and then Christine went over and hit the other girl on the
Yeah.
Fairlawn team's shoulder, making the score 3-0 going to Valley.
You can see they're very concentrated.
Yeah,
Point going to Christine, making the score 4-0. Fairlawn has to step up their game. They
That was
want
a-
this point.
that's true. That was a really interesting point.
That was.
On the Fairlawn side, it looked like she almost hit Christine's mask, which would have been really interesting, but the score didn't show such, so I guess she didn't make it all the way. She probably got taken aback by Christine's point.
Yep. Both coaches are giving a timeout to both of their teams.
The Valley team is very excited, cheering on a lot. So is Fairlawn.
You see very good sportsmanship happening here.
Of course, after every bout, there's always either a salute or a handshake or a hug of some sort. It's a very respectful game
Yeah,
fencing.
it really is.
It's actually like really nice, and all the teams are like little families. Especially at counties, like everyone was like
Yeah.
talking. I actually talked to someone from Hills, if you can believe it.
It's very ironic because you might think, oh, like they're out to get each other. They look
Yeah,
really
'cause
mad when they're fencing.
Because
but
we
really
literally
no,
sword
like,
fight.
That just happens in fencing, but outside of fencing, we're all just little family.
The strategic game has gotten very intense.
Very intense.
Just got a very interesting, very harsh point for Christine, making it 5-0 on
You might
Valley's
hear
side.
a lot of bageling. Bagel is when the player wins at 5-0.
Yeah, it's like a mercy where
Yep.
one person gets all the points, the other person gets none.
Now starting is Saber with Nikki.
Saber's a really interesting thing
Yeah.
in which the helmets or the masks are different, so you can hit the other person on the head.
Yeah, it's
And-
anything waist up.
Anything waist up, yeah, and arms.
And then you can see it's a didn't hit. It's not really like strategic. You don't go back and forth. You
Yes.
just go forward and then hit.
It's really fast. I can't imagine being a
Yeah.
Saber. I don't know how you
Saber's
do it,
very
Ezra.
fun, actually.
Alright, first point went to the Fairlawn
Yeah.
side.
Now, Saber, there's a slashing motion.
Yeah, unlike
Punch.
the other weapons, which
Yeah.
are a point. You also have to have a very good lunge, as I see on the Fairlawn side. It's
Yeah.
a really far lunge.
You have to really far when you're lunging.
All
And you
right.
can see the way they're holding their weapons is different too. If you look
Yeah.
at the other weapons.
There's a different, a very different, like, handle, like on a grip on it. There's a timeout right now.
Yeah, on both teams.
The captain of the Saber team called a timeout to talk to one of her teammates, and the captain on the other side's talking. The score is 4-0 to Fairlawn. It's very fast, Saber, it is.
Timeouts are over. Now Oh, Nikki got a point.
Point
This
Valley.
advice really went well.
Ooh, another
Another
point.
point on Valley, making the score 4-2.
Guess that advice did pay off.
Yep.
I knew it would.
And just called a simultaneous. Now what Nikki just did was very interesting.
Point
She
for
took up the
Nikki.
blade from the bottom of her blade, and she took it to hit her lame.
Lame is the silver jacket that fencers wear. It actually gives an electric current through to the score.
The score
And-
is now 5-4 with Fairlawn fortunately winning. But there was very good sportsmanship, and
It
she
was
really
a-
stepped up her game.
Yeah, it was a really good bout. I can't believe
Yeah.
she came back from
Yeah.
1-4.
That's what we call redemption.
Yeah, even if she didn't win, that was definitely
Very
a
good
really amazing
improvement.
bout. I think the advice really helped.
Yeah.
Who do we have now, Ezra?
This is Amanda Pardo. She's a senior, and this is actually her 3rd year fencing. She has been varsity for 2 years, and she's college bound for UMass, University of Massachusetts. Now they're just testing each other. Which
Testing.
seems to not work. On her cord, on her mask. Oh, now it's working.
I guess it was just a little mishap then.
Yep.
Glad it works and we can
Now
continue.
they're saluting each other and the director, which is a very respectful manner.
It is, it is. No point on the first hit.
Attack going Fairlawn.
First point to Fairlawn.
It's really good to go forward instead of go back and say because you lose your right of way.
Yeah, that's true. And also, you need to take up more room, you know.
Yeah.
Hold your ground. If you move back, you actually could.
You said you're really good at keeping defense.
Yeah. If you move back, you actually could lose a point by getting run off the strip,
Yeah.
which would just be really unfortunate.
Now the coach on Wayne Valley is calling a timeout for Amanda.
The
Or actually the captain is.
The score is 3-1 with Fairlawn winning. But I think the advice that helped so much last round could probably give us a little boost.
Now a player from Fairlawn is also calling a timeout.
There's nothing quite like getting advice from your peers or someone you look up to, like a captain.
Let's hope the advice pays off on this bout too.
I'm confident it will. I'm also glad that the test worked out. I got nervous for a second.
Me
When a
too.
test doesn't work, it's not fun because you have to fix.
Yeah, it takes a really long
Equipment.
time. Oh, looks like the advice has paid off.
Yep, last point just went to Amanda Pardo on the Wayne Valley side. 1 point to Fairlawn.
Making the score 4-2 on Fairlawn. And another point to Fairlawn, winning the bout 5-2. Which is
That
bad.
made the bout 5-2. Yep, Fairlawn winning.
You can see they shake their hands and they salute each other and the director.
And the director, that's really respectful.
Yeah.
The director is very important. Without him, we wouldn't even have scores.
Now going up is Danny on Wayne Valley.
You can see Danny's very enthusiastic. She went straight in.
Yep. That's a very good advantage because then you, one, trick the other person and you have a right of way too.
Yeah, also, Danny has a really interesting on guard stance, and when she goes in, because it kind of looks like her torso doesn't move, like only her legs
Yeah.
move.
She's blocking her torso. Now she's moving her blade up and down, which throws off the other player to see, oh, is she going up or is she going down? You don't really know then.
Yeah, she's also very fast.
Yeah,
They're both very fast.
that's very principle in Saber. Looks like the blade has gone too far, maybe in her neck.
Is she all right? There's
They're
a
just checking
timeout.
if she's all right. Now this sometimes happens because when you're really, you have really momentum,
Yeah.
kind of like makes your attack stronger.
Yeah, and Danny is really fast, and so is the girl on Fairlawn, so they could have easily been working up momentum and gone too close to each other.
Yeah.
And there is a bib on masks to prevent this from happening, but with a saber, which has a very big slicing and slashing motion, it very could have easily, not easily, but it could have gone like halfway and gone like under. I'm sure she's going to be all right, though.
Yeah, she's got a drink of water.
She's been the person giving all the advice, so I'm sure she can figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll keep you updated. But for right now, at least, after this little medical timeout, the score is 2-1 going to Fairlawn. And there's no time since it's a saber bout, and they're pretty fast anyway.
Yeah. So now it looks like Danny has got a really big attack to her neck.
Looks like she's going to be
off for a while.
Off the strip for a little while. She's got an ice pack, but I'm sure she'll be all right.
Yeah. Now we're actually done with the saber bout. Now we're going on to foil, starting with Ashley on Wayne Valley.
Ashley has been doing really well. She is a sophomore, but she's on varsity. So that's really interesting.
She has been going to private lessons, which showed her much improvement.
Yep, and she, like some others, has knelt down to get her weapon tested.
Yes.
And looks like
see
it's
if the
going
blade is in good condition.
It worked last bout, but it seemed to be showing off target, so
Yeah.
I think she might have to switch it out for right now. Or maybe it's her body cord. That's the problem whenever there's faulty equipment, because you don't know if it's
Body cord or the weapon itself.
you don't know if it's what you're plugging into your weapon or your weapon or the other person's like target.
Well, they're testing each other's weapons, and now they're about to fence.
Looks like everything works out.
Yep.
They salute. This is Helena again. She's fenced once before on the Fairlawn side.
Most varsity fencers, since they only do 3 bouts, they alternate on the other bouts. They still go on with subs going in.
This is again another very intense bout. You can see they're not violent, but they're very like
They know what they're doing.
Yeah,
without being
they
crazy.
do. Ashley is a very interesting fencer. She's like very tactical and she's very fast. For a foil, she's very fast.
Yeah.
So
It's actually an advantage too.
Yeah, it really is. She just kind of goes in 1,000 different ways.
Yeah.
And by the end, you don't even know, but she's got you.
Whatever works to get the point.
Yep. Speaking of, it's 3-0 for Valley with 3 points, just very clean points, not much blocking. Last attack was off target, no point. Attack is off target once again, no point.
Seems like Fairlawn is blocking.
Last point went to Fairlawn with a block of the attack and then backwards. Another point to Fairlawn with around the blade beat. So she hit the other girl's blade out of the way, then went around it and over the top in getting her the point.
Seems like Natalie is more knowing of foil than I am. 'Cause she is
Well,
a foil.
you know Saber.
Yeah, they have very different rules.
Yeah.
Tactics, everything is really different.
The score is now 4-2 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Yep.
Going to Valley with Ashley's very clean hits.
Yeah.
She had like 3 points with no blocks. That was really good.
Won the bout with 5-2.
Bout just ended very good.
Overall score is 6-5 going to Valley. Oh, 7-5 going to Valley.
Oh, I guess that was the 7 then.
Yep. Seems like Danny is ready to go on.
I'm sure she'll be able. She's composed herself and she's able to get back on there and win this bout for her team. Considering she's a senior, And this week is going to be her last. She's really sweet, though. She's like, I'm not even a
She's
saber.
very
She's a
nice.
saber captain.
She's
I'm
the
not even a
best.
saber, but I love her.
She's been my captain for 2 years.
Yeah, she was actually a captain when she was a junior, which is really interesting.
Yeah. Looks like the testing, and hopefully a mishap. Oh, okay, it's working.
Okay, we're doing great. Danny's got a big cheering section considering
Yep.
she's coming back on after what's happened.
You got this, Danny.
She seems like she's back up and running.
Yep.
Back with her old tactics,
Oh.
very fast. And she just won the point.
Making it 3-2 on Valley. Or 2-2 on Valley. Now what Danny just did, she attacked, however, it didn't go through her lame or her gray area. So Fairlawn would get the point.
The target area for each weapon is the gray area.
Except for epee.
Except for
everywhere
epee,
is
which is
target
everywhere.
area.
They don't wear one. The bout just
Unfortunately,
ended.
Danny just lost, but it's okay.
But just her getting back up on the strip, I think, was winning
Yeah,
enough.
that was very courageous of her.
It was very brave of her. So the bout was 5-2 going to Fairlawn.
Yeah.
A very fair bout, very good one.
Now we're continuing with foil. The second bout with Shruti on Valley.
Testing. The test seems to be off target, but I'm sure that'll get rectified soon.
Shruti is a junior. This is her first year on varsity. She's been fencing for 3 years, and she's working really hard. And along with Nina, she works really hard on her control and her tactics going around the blade.
Yeah, very tactical fencer. I've fenced Shruti before. She's really tactical. Like, you can see she's kind of bent down more than others. Kind of
Yeah.
has this very interesting
Yeah.
kind of way in.
Yeah, I think that's with all fencers. They just have a different stance, whatever's
Yeah.
comfortable for them.
Some of the other girls on the team, they make fun of me because when I fence, I put my other arm up and it kind of looks like the OK symbol.
Oh.
Juliana looks like she's going to snap. I think it's awesome. So everyone kind of
Everyone has
has
a
their
different-
own kind of like little thing to add.
Their unique little stance.
The last couple of shots have been off target, if you're wondering. The white light's off target. First point goes to Shruti with a really interesting, like, under attack. It was probably a low high.
It looks
or
like she
high-low.
got her blade and she went under.
Yeah,
Wrong? Or
she
if I'm
kind of
wrong?
faked up and then went down under to get the girl off guard, the girl on Fairlawn off guard.
There's a lot of fakes or feints.
Yeah,
as they're
that's
called
true.
them. Feints are fakes, but
Last point went to Fairlawn with a really cool kind of, like,
around
sideways
yeah.
kind of shot.
Now you see like the blocking is really different too.
Last point went to Shruti with a around the blade kind of over shot. It's really interesting. That's like a really popular shot. It serves a lot of purposes. It gets your opponent's shot out of the way while also giving you the right of way because it's kind of like a block. And then if you go in, you kind of move them out of the way while also being able to get the point.
Yep.
But the technique of the girl on Fairlawn is actually really interesting. She kind of blocks, then goes in.
Yeah,
and
I like her
back.
blocking.
It's really interesting.
Very
I think
different.
that's a really good technique. She goes out and then
Yeah.
back in.
Like she puts her blade under and then she puts it back up in a really fast motion.
That is really interesting. I don't know how I would defend against that. The score is 2 Valley, 1 Fairlawn with 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Now the point just went on Shruti. Or actually it hasn't, it's been simultaneous.
We can see this is a very
Rather intense.
rather intense bout for
Yeah.
foils. Usually foils pretty tactical, but this is really interesting actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty fast. So that was really interesting shot Truthy just did right there. Although it was off target, she did kind of like jump back while hitting to kind of hit while also defending herself. Last point was A.
Looks like Shruti is not going into her blocks.
Yeah, that's true. That was really
It's cutting
interesting.
right through them, which is really advantageous.
Yeah, she went around the other girl's block and went high, then faked, and then went down low to hit the girl on Fairlawn, giving her the last point, making it 3-1 with 2 minutes left. Seems to be it.
untied.
Shruti's shoe is untied, so the coach is tying it for her. This is actually pretty difficult since you're plugged into the machine. You
really
can't
have
really
no
do it
control
yourself.
with your hands.
That happened to me last time. It was pretty funny.
Oh, did it? Must be fun.
I think I had the director tie my shoe. That was
Oh.
pretty interesting. Not to mine. I didn't ask for it. It just kind of happened.
The coach is just giving advice for Shruti on Valley.
She is winning, but everyone could use a little advice.
Yep. Are they ready to go?
It's a very interesting game. I like the block on the Fairlawn side.
Yep.
Last attack was off target, so no point.
Yeah, when
Oh,
it's
that
off
was
target, usually starts where it kind of ended. It doesn't go back.
Yeah, they kind of put the center somewhere
Yeah.
to kind of resume the point in a way.
And the director usually indicates where that center is.
Last point went to Shruti with a pretty fast, like rapid motion.
It looks
They
like
were
she blocked the blade from the other side and she went in.
they were pretty close to each other, so she just kind of went in, making the score 4-2 on Valley with 1 minute 55 seconds.
Yeah.
Last point just went to Fairlawn, making it 3-4, Valley winning.
Looks like Fairlawn is really wanting to block the blade.
Fairlawn is blocking a lot, and Fairlawn's coming back,
Yeah.
making it 4-4 right now with just under
It's
2
very
minutes.
intense.
Yeah, you can see all the people around are just watching.
Yeah.
Point just went to Fairlawn.
Fairlawn.
What a comeback, really.
Yeah.
Making it 5-4. Fairlawn winning. Making the score
Fairlawn.
7-7 overall.
Yep. You can see the Fairlawn had an advantage of because she was a lefty.
That's true. Sometimes it's hard to fence lefties since they have a whole different like vantage point. And sometimes when you want to go in, usually you and your opponent's weapons are on opposite sides. But since they're a lefty, you're on the same side, and it kind of makes it harder to go around them and into their chest since their weapon's right in front of the side that you would be hitting.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
So if you know how to fence a lefty, it can be considered really advantageful too.
Yeah, it can, because most people don't really know what to do when they're blocked.
Yep.
Back up here, we have Alyssa Toy on the Valley side. She's the foil captain and a senior. She actually placed in counties 3rd place, I believe.
Yep.
And
Looks
This
like something.
it's going to be a very interesting
Yeah.
bout, I can tell already.
So they're both ready to get a point. No doubt in both of them. So the point
Last
just went to
point.
Valley.
Last point went to Alyssa on the Valley side because while it was a simultaneous shot, or both lights lit up, making it a simultaneous, technically Alyssa went in first and she had the right of way, so she got the point.
It's like the sportsmanship is really
Yeah, really,
blowing
and
up.
so much love from all the teams. Last point
Yeah.
went to Fairlawn with a pretty interesting counter 6, which is where she goes under, then around the other girl's blade over and into her target.
That's a very popular tactic in
It
Fairlawn.
is. You see it a lot.
The score is now 2-1 with Valley winning.
The whole team is very excited. Everyone's cheering Fairlawn and Valley alike.
Both teams trying to trick each other with stomping their feet and moving about their blade.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Like in fencing, there are a lot of different things people can do. Like
Yeah.
some people jump, some people stomp
Duck.
around. Yeah,
I've
some
seen
people
a lot
like
of ducking.
yeah, some people duck, some people like
Yeah.
squat all the way down. Some people like go back and forth. It's really interesting.
Yeah.
So just kind of like to each his own, like you were saying before. It's really interesting. Last point went to Alyssa on the Valley side.
Yep. Another point going on Alyssa, making the score 4-1.
with 2 minutes left.
Yep.
This is a really interesting bout. With the different tactics, you could see how on the Fairlawn side, she's kind of more lent down. So she's like more tactical.
Yep. Point just went to Alyssa, winning the bout 5-1.
That was a good bout.
Going in for me is Amanda Pardo, directing for Sabre.
Here up we have Zoe Cronin, who's the overall captain, like we said before. She is kind of like, there's captains for each weapon, but she's the captain for all the weapons, kind of like overall, you know. Say hi.
Hello. You know, it's so interesting being on this team for 4 years, seeing Zoe freshman year to now overall captain, decorated épée fencer.
That is really cool. I'm new, so I don't really get that, but
Yeah.
I've known Zoe for a while.
It's been an interesting journey. It's been a really nice journey. A great time with Zoe. She's always been a very dedicated fencer. And it's
Last point just went to Zoe with no double touch. It was just to Zoe with 2 minutes and 35 seconds left.
ooh,
That was really
point to
interesting.
Lakeland.
Yeah, her blade actually bent so much that it hit Zoe's mask, which is a really interesting thing that you don't usually see in other weapons.
I love watching Zoe's point to Zoe. I love watching her just stay completely calm under pressure.
Zoe is very calm all the time. Oh,
Oh, okay, injury on Lakeland. Oh yeah, I think she got hit in the throat. Oh,
sorry. I think we have some sort of injury or timeout.
she got hit in the throat, which is, it doesn't sound like much, but oof, man, it really hurts.
Yeah, in certain situations it can really. That's why we have bibs and high necks on her things. But she seemed like she's all right. She alerted her coach and the director, and she's back to fencing.
You don't think it, but Zoe's got a strong arm, and that
does.
makes her very good going up toe-to-toe. Oh. Point Fairlawn.
Last point with
2-2.
Fairlawn, making the score 2-2 with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the bout. If Fairlawn wins this, they could potentially, I don't know what I just said, they could potentially tie up the overall score, making it 8-8, but right now it's 8-7 Valley. And
Point to Zoe.
Zoe just got the last point, yeah.
It's just wonderful seeing Zoe fence. I always love seeing her. We always usually set it up so Zoe, in case it comes down to it, will have the last bout of the meet, just because she has this amazing ability just to keep calm.
And she is very calm, and she's kind of like the mom of all of us, being the overall captain.
She is the mom. Zoe is the mom.
And
of
she's
the team.
she's always very calm. You could see in her, like through her mask, a lot of fencers, including me, always get very like worked up over.
It was a double touch.
Throughout the bout. Yeah, that was just a double touch, meaning now it's 4-3.
And
now it's 4-4.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, Zoe. You can see through the mask, and you just see Zoe's face, and she's
Just always very composed.
composed.
Even when it's
calm.
a tie game, like right now.
Oh,
Oh, last point just went to Fairlawn.
even when it's Fairlawn, you see, even in losing, Zoe is just so graceful. She smiles, she shakes hand, she just apologized for accidentally hitting her. Like, she's, even in losing, she's such a wonderful model for
So
fencers.
on Fairlawn, they both, like, there's always a lot of graciousness, especially with this team. Fairlawn's really nice. They always salute, they always, like, shake hands or hug.
And actually, the girl that Zoe just fenced, she is known as the crazy sock girl. People call her that because every
I
team
love
usually
her
has
socks.
Yeah, no, and we always love them. They change every year, and she always has like fun, colorful socks. This year, it's what is it?
Looks like a painting.
It's
Like the painting with the pitchfork.
Yeah, it's the farmer one. But every year, she's known for having these
Okay.
fun color socks that nobody else will usually have. So she's a landmark.
It's really amazing. All right, now we have Simone Ferguson, who's the FA captain up for Valley side.
Mm-hmm.
And no points are scored yet in the first 15 seconds.
Simone is also a very nice fencer to watch. She always stays calm as well. The epee team, we have a very calm epee team. It's you see.
Epees are usually pretty calm.
Yeah.
Unlike you.
Yeah, Saber's pretty intense. You see some other epee teams, they get really into it. This girl that she's fencing now is a rather loud player. There are different like styles of I don't know.
Yeah,
fencing
you could be like reserved or pretty.
Yeah. There's a
pretty
point for
impressive.
Fairlawn. And one of the things she does is like throwing her hand in the air
When she gets the point.
when she gets the point. That's something.
That's an interesting tactic.
It's kind of like a little bit of bragging, you know. It's a little bit of bragging. It's a
We're-
little bit of
We're
intimidation.
announcers. We're very unbiased.
Yeah, I mean we do it too. We have a couple people.
I used to do that when I used to play other sports.
Yeah, I mean like that's one of the things that I think is very nice about our epee team. They don't ever really do that. They stay very composed. When they win, when they lose, they're always gracious, and that's something that I think we have to thank our coaches for that. And I'm glad that we do that. Point to Fairlawn, making it 2-1. Minute 43 left.
Another interesting thing about epee is that it includes feet and hands. So a toe touch is when your opponent actually goes down and hits their opponent's toes or foot.
It's hard. It's hard.
It's hard because while it is kind of like a really interesting kind of show-off move, it's not used as much. It's kind of seen as like,
It's a holy grail.
yeah,
It's hard
it's
to
really good for the person who does it. But I feel like it's kind of disrespectful because like, I don't know. I've heard that from
It's
some
like
epees, but we haven't seen it yet today. I hope we do at some point.
It's a double touch. Yeah, it's a little bit of, it's like a cheap shot. And also, it's also kind of a hard place to hit just because
It is
your feet
hard.
are always moving. Like that, where the basis of fencing, where all the movement comes from, is your feet. I mean, you can move your body and your arm, and you use the blade to parry and move away their blade, but all of that movement is coming from your feet. So it's a little bit of a hard target. But
Just
also,
finished a timeout for Fairlawn.
yeah,
Looks like her blade was bent, so you're just bending it back.
yeah.
Also, another thing about toe touches is that
Oh, well, double touch right there.
double touch right there, making it 3-4 for Fairlawn winning, is that it kind of opens, if you were going into it, kind of opens up your whole body, so it keeps you vulnerable.
Yeah,
So it is a really risky move,
Yeah.
but if you get it, it's pretty interesting to see. It's kind
Yeah.
of very hard. So if Fairlawn gets the next point, or if there's a double touch, then Fairlawn wins.
That's always that's one of the things that always kind of like turned me off about epee was that you could get double touches
And then win.
yeah
Yeah,
And
that is kind of odd, because we can't do that.
yeah, you can't do that in foil and saber. And coach always says a double is a win, and it is, and that's what's scary because you
Yeah.
can't. There's no.
And if both people are tied and then both get double touches, then they just continue.
They just flip a coin, and then whoever gets the chosen side, they get priority, which is a scary thing. But then we got Simone tying it up 4-4. La
40
Belle.
seconds left. It's
Yeah.
very intense.
It's very intense.
Like usually epee bouts are pretty calm and collected, but this has been very interesting.
Yeah, it's I one of the things I like about epee is because it's much slower. It's a longer draw out of strategy.
Yeah,
you have to
that's
have
true.
a very in saber it's very quick and you react in the moment. But in epee it's setting up the moves and it's taking your time and
That's really
knowing when to go for it. But
Closing
it's-
in on 15 seconds left, tied 4-4. Who knows what's going to happen? Simone's getting dangerously close to the edge
Yeah.
of the strip. If she goes off the strip, that would give the other girl on
seems-
Fairlawn the point, making her lose. So let's hope she stays. Oh, time just ran out.
So this is where they're going to grab a coin, and we're going to choose a side, and they'll flip it, and whoever picks the winning side. Oh, they use the machine. So
They
Simone.
use the machine.
So Simone got it, which means if
Simone
either
gets
of them touch, if it's a double touch, then the
Simone
priority
gets
will
the
go to
point.
Simone. Yeah.
That's
so
really interesting.
yeah, that's one of the things that sometimes boggles my mind about epee. Because then
So-
there's like that chance.
So
It-
instead of flipping a coin, what they did was added a minute to the clock.
No, they use the machine.
Yeah,
There we
instead of
go.
flipping your coin.
Yeah, the machine has Oh wait, what just happened? The machine, instead of flipping a coin, the machine has it like built in.
So
And it was her touch. Fairlawn, so Fairlawn won.
So the bout just went to Fairlawn in overtime, technically.
Yeah, which is you don't see that a lot.
No, you really don't, especially as a foil. I don't see
Yeah,
it.
especially in varsity too.
Yeah,
It's-
varsity as well.
So I love watching it.
That was
I mean,
really
it hurts
interesting
my
bout.
heart that we didn't win.
It's
but
all
even
right.
even watching it was
That was just
it's
really
fun.
amazing. The fact that both of them came back from different ways was really interesting.
Yeah, that's one of the hard things. Fencing is such a mental sport.
It
when
is.
when you fall behind, it's so hard to pick yourself up out of that in the middle of a bout when you're 4-1 and you can't let you can't let 1 point pass. It's hard to
It is
to
really
pull back from
intimidating.
that. It's hard and it's mentally daunting. So to see it and to watch it happen, I always love it. It's inspiring. It makes me want to do it even as hard as it is.
It is really scary.
It makes for an interesting battle.
Up now is Catherine DeStefano. This is her second year on varsity. She's a junior, and she's been very successful. She's one of our very good fencers.
She came into fencing having a year of practice. So when she came in freshman year, she had already been club fencing. She has her name on the back of her jacket.
Yeah, that's really fancy.
That is so fancy.
That means she went out and
And
bought
bought
it
it.
instead of using the school equipment.
Yeah.
Which is very good quality.
Yeah, we do get very good equipment. So that's a plus of being on
Although
the
it gets
team.
kind of hot with like
does
8
get-
layers of clothes.
Yeah, we have like 8
But at least we're
layers.
safe.
It's safe and sound. And then we like
First point went to Kat.
drop down from heat stroke. But
It's the same girl with her glove.
oh,
Sorry, I
yeah.
didn't mean to whisper.
No, it's fine.
As we mentioned before, the glove was not all the way fastened, so the body cord couldn't get out. So that means it could have either gotten pulled out, not giving her whatever point she scored,
Yeah.
or just been a nuisance.
Yeah. We'll point to Catherine right there. So 2-0. Yeah.
2:15 left.
Ooh, man, when the gloves come undone, that always bothered me. Last year I had not good gloves. A point to Catherine right there. And the Velcro would always come undone, and it's so, oh, man, it's bothersome. It's really, you're
Yeah.
in the,
Because then it's all like waving around.
yeah. And she's got the problem with her cord. Some of the cheaper cords, definitely, they don't have the hooks that keep them into the blade, and so they're always
Yeah.
coming out.
Body cords are really difficult. It's kind of like a wire you put in your jacket, so because there's a lot of electric things involved in fencing to hook you up to the scoreboard. It's really interesting, very complicated process.
Yeah.
You have to put this like cord into your jacket, which is the outermost layer of
Yeah.
our uniforms.
Yeah.
And
we have
it
the
comes
lamaze, yeah.
and lamaze. It's the outermost for
For
épées.
foil. Oh, yeah, épée is the jacket, yeah.
foils wear like vests of the silver or gray, which you see.
Which is like woven metal. It's
Yeah,
pretty.
it's metal. It keeps the electricity from the
It creates a
weapon.
target zone, yeah.
It's the target zone.
And then
Whereas
Safers have arms, full arms,
full
body.
arms, and your and your
And the
heads
mask.
too.
Yeah.
Épées, as you could see here, don't have that. They don't need a special target area since their whole body's target.
So we had a double touch there for 1 Cat.
2 minutes left.
Yeah.
Valley.
Cat's very good.
Yeah.
Cat knows what she's doing. You always see Cat's very mental in her fencing. Some people are physical. She's definitely more mental. She gets
Yeah,
very
you could
into
just
it.
tell her mind's going a mile a minute.
Yeah, she right before her bout, usually like a bout before, she just kind of zones out. She stands at the end of the strip and she just kind of contemplates. She gets
Really
what she wants to.
interesting.
She gets what she wants to do in her
Big
mind. and-
applause from Fairlawn. Fairlawn just got 2 points very quickly, making the score 4-3 with Valley winning with 1 minute and 40 seconds left.
I think this is where Kat's weakness is being too much in her head. Sometimes I think
I think we all can relate to
Yeah,
that sometimes.
we all
I
can
definitely do
relate
that
to
because
that,
like
yeah.
if you're like up 4-1 and then they get a point, you're just like, all right, this is it, I'm done.
I'm
Like,
done.
I thought I was winning, but I
thought
guess
I was gonna
not.
win, but now I'm gonna lose. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
really
think-
hard being in such a mental sport. It's not
Yeah.
just like you can rely on your team or you have other people to be like with you. It's very individual. So if you lose, then it's you who lost.
Yeah.
But in another way, if you win, it's you who won. So it's
Yeah.
really kind of difficult. It's really interesting.
It's a
dynamic. Really, it's
Yeah.
different from other sports.
it's a weirdly individual team sport.
but it's also a very team sport,
Yeah,
which is
it's-
what's really interesting about
we
it.
win for each other, but we
Yeah,
also win for
because
ourselves.
your
which is-
score
there
goes
we
directly
go.
into bigger score.
Yeah,
Last
so
point just scored for Catherine DeStefano on the
pretty,
Valley
a pretty
side.
nice head touch. You don't see a lot of
It
head.
was a head touch.
because
Those are really interesting.
you can only in saber you can hit the target area with any part of the blade, but in foil and epee you can only hit with the tip. So when
Yeah.
you have the curved surface, it's definitely harder to like land it on there. So
And
to see
since
it, it's nice,
since epee you could hit one's mask or head, it's still a touch and a point sport.
Yeah.
You have to push in. There's a small button on the end of foils and epees. They have to point. So it would be really hard to point on such a curved surface, whereas
Yeah.
in saber you could slash, and if you hit it, then it's fine.
Speaking of saber, we got a first bout of
This is
Julia Cardaro,
Julia Cordero,
junior. We got point Fairlawn and
a
point to
junior
Julia.
on varsity.
On varsity. She was point to them, but one of the things she does really well is making them fall short.
That's true, yeah.
She'll make them fall short, and I think it's probably her dancing background that really gives her that edge, where she's able to
Oh,
just
possibly. She is
pull
very
back.
light on her feet. That's true.
yeah. She's
Last
able to
point.
pull
Last point
back.
just went to Fairlawn, making it
3-1.
3-1.
She's very
Fairlawn
nimble on her feet, and we've talked about this before. A lot of that comes from her dancing, and that gives her a real edge on a lot of these.
She's like floating.
sabers. Yeah, a lot of saber people just kind of run at the strip. It's very planted, and I think people just try to go in strong. And one of the
Yeah.
things that I think Julia has a lot, and that gives her an advantage, is her agility. She's very good with that, and she can recover very quickly, which is something
She
that many people struggle with.
Keeps her back very straight, like she just goes in, like she
Yeah.
doesn't like fall over or anything.
And that's
It's
why
really
she just got that point.
Yeah, and she kept her back straight. She just won that point, kept her target area out of the way,
And
giving
a
her the
single-
last 2 points, making it 3-3.
And it's a single light too. In saber, there's usually single light. There's double lights, but only one person will get the point. So getting a double light is pretty impressive.
Last point to Fairlawn.
4-3.
Oh, that was a bent bladed saber. I have not seen that often.
Oh yeah. Well, saber, I don't know. Some people do. I do. I like to bend it, just to give it a little bit of like, I don't know, like curve. But the last point went to Fairlawn, making it 5-3.
That was a very good bout, though.
It is,
Julia
yeah.
definitely gave Fairlawn
Yeah, they've
a
got
pretty
a
strong bout.
Fairlawn's got definitely a strong saber team. I mean, there are a lot of really good sabers in New Jersey. I mean, we had Francesca Russo, who was #1 in the country. She graduated a couple
Wow.
years ago. She's going through the school. We have Lauren Park at Wayne Hills, and all these really great saber fencers. New Jersey's just full of really good sabers.
We have
so
Danny back on the strip, Danielle
Yeah.
Risi. She
captain.
is the saber captain. She was actually the one who took
Got
that
stabbed.
took that quick little medical break before, but she's back on. She's ready to win.
Yeah. So we got a point to Fairlawn.
First point to Fairlawn.
One of the things also you'll notice is I love seeing it. They never put on the clock for saber because
Yeah,
you know
'cause
it's
so
never gonna
fast,
happen.
it's not going to ever reach
It's
zero.
never gonna happen, yeah. I once went through a whole bout in 8 seconds.
Wow, that's
Because
really interesting.
they recorded it. It was like 8 seconds. This is a point to Danny. That's one thing Danny does really well that she just did. She also does a pretty good fall short. Making them fall
This
short.
is Danny's 4th year of fencing.
Yeah.
That's really long. She actually is something unique. She's been a captain for 2 years,
Yeah.
which
yeah.
is really interesting because
we
usually captains are seniors, but she was a captain as a junior, which is just a really interesting and unique honor.
Yeah, when we were freshmen, there were no sophomores, and then the sophomore came back for 1 year, and then she left again. So when we came back, there was like no one except Danny. So Danny took it for 2 years, which is a big deal. She's
Yeah,
done a
that's
pretty
really
good job.
interesting. She is a really we'll miss her next year. A
Yeah,
very interesting person. She's actually looking forward. She's looking forward to possibly directing next year, directing her
Yeah.
own bouts. And she's majoring in media studies, which is really interesting. I feel like I could see Danny doing that.
yeah,
It's tied right now, 2-2.
yeah. Danny's a very good director. I've seen her direct. There's a
Yeah,
point to
I feel
Danny
like she
right
could
there.
probably come back next year.
Yeah. I think she wants to stay local. I'm so ready to not be local. But the team that has been created here really has made me promised myself to come back and visit these people because I'm really gonna miss them.
Aw.
Just sitting here like watching the sport after 4 years on senior night, it's been
It is
a
senior
long,
night.
It is, yeah. It's
Having a
senior
senior
night.
next to me is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Timeout for Fairlawn.
Yeah, it's like it's surreal to reflect after so long, and I'm gonna miss this. It's a simultaneous
Last point was simultaneous.
and a point.
A point to Fairlawn, making it 3-3. This is a rather longer bout.
Yeah,
Unless
this
I'm
is
crazy.
pretty long. No, this is pretty long. But that was a
4-3.
point.
Danny just got the last point with a pretty interesting lower shot.
This girl's really good. And
Yeah, Fairlawn.
that's what Danny does well. She goes in low a lot of times.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
That catches a lot of people off guard. But most people go in high.
Yeah, because you could get the mask, so going in high
Yeah.
seems easier.
And it's also it's like a downward motion, so you have gravity helping with you. But Danny a lot of times likes to go in low, and a lot of people do not expect that, and that definitely helps her. And we just had 5 simultaneous.
Yeah, a lot of
in a row.
simultaneouses.
Yeah, that happens all the time. It happens in Sabre a lot. And one of the things they did,
Because both people go in so fast.
they get into just like a rhythm of just like step attack.
1-1.
Yeah. Single
Final point
touch.
to Danny, winning after her previous medical break. A very tough bout.
A very
making
good
it
fencer,
5-3. Very strong competition on both sides.
And then we have Nikki up.
Nikki is up now. She is a junior.
Nikki's really become a.
She's been on varsity.
She's been on varsity since last year.
She's been on, she's been on varsity for 2 years. That's pretty interesting. As a junior, so she only played 1 year as not varsity and was on a varsity for sophomore year and junior year, which is now. She's been fencing for 3 years.
Yeah.
She actually placed, in addition to
She placed at counties.
Yeah, in
She
addition
got
to
second place.
being on varsity for 2 years and being a junior, she actually got second place in counties, which was really amazing.
Last year, I know when
And
we
she's
were
starting on varsity.
Yeah,
And she just got the last point.
Yeah. And this was 1-1 now. Last year at districts, she came very close to placing, which is incredible for a junior.
Oh,
for
wow,
not
a
for
sophomore.
at the time. Again, like New Jersey is full of really great saber fencers. She went against some of the people who made it to states, and she almost made qualifying, and she did really well as a sub too.
Very
And
interesting.
she was in C. So she did really well. She just got a single touch right there. One of
Yeah.
the things she does so
Last
well.
2 points just went to Nikki on
To
the
Nikki,
Valley
yeah.
side, making it 3-1.
She's got a great prise de fer, which is when you
Explain what that is.
Yeah, it's when you you make them fall short, and in falling short, you make somewhat of a circular motion so that you catch their blade and you literally push their blade and your blade as well back at them. So it's touching them and you're touching them too.
Yeah, so
and
you
it's-
get the point while also
Yeah.
getting them away from you.
Yeah, so it's very hard to break out of that once you have that. And Nikki just won.
We just saw that
5-2.
again, making it 5-2,
And that's one of the things she does so well.
which
it's hard-
Valley just broke out of the tie on the overall score, making it
See,
11-10 instead of 10-10.
this is gonna be a close one.
This is. I
this is
feel like we're going to be
definitely
here
gonna
till
be a
like
close
8
one.
o'clock.
Yeah.
This is,
it's 5:30. We're
It's
here till 8
5:30.
o'clock. Yeah.
yeah. It's
thi-
going to be great though.
This is one of the times where again the coaches are plan ahead. And right now Zoe is they're planning ahead. Right now Zoe is the last bout, and just because of how wonderful Calm Under Pressure. So if it gets to that, I'm confident we are in good hands.
Yeah, me too.
We're starting the foil bouts now.
Right now we have Nina Chalgiri on foil.
Yeah.
Nina is a really good fencer. She's very fast. She's smaller than most, as am I.
She
And
is.
so she has a really good under attack. She's very fast. It's
Yeah.
really interesting to see her fence.
I enjoy watching foil fence. I don't always get it.
First point goes to Nina with a high-low, which
Yeah,
is really interesting. Her opponent, you see, is very bouncy and very, not
Yeah.
as, very good, but not
Very
as
wide.
not quite as calculated as Nina.
She's swinging.
Although she is
yeah.
very interestingly.
She definitely. I think her opponent knows what she's doing, but she has very wide, broad strokes, and I'm seeing her do it. And her parries are literally just sweeping across.
Yeah. They're big movements,
Yeah,
but
which I think is something
they
characteristic.
did gain
of
her the
team.
past 2 points.
Yeah.
Making the score 1-2.
I think
Valley.
I would I would say the
Oh, Nina's body cord just came out of her weapon.
yeah. So I'd say the strategy in that, if I had to like think of anything that could be beneficial of that, would be just knocking the other person's blade out of the way.
Yeah.
So you know that you're gonna push their blade out of the way.
Definitely.
Catch them off guard, push it out of the way, and then go in.
Timeout's called after the body cord fell out. By the Valley side, the coach is giving some advice. One of the hardest things about when your body cord falls out is if you go to lunge and you extend your arm and it falls out because it's in your sleeve, then if you connect with the person, it won't register because you don't have your cord in, so it's
Yeah.
really difficult. That's happened to me once.
Yeah. So point to Fairlawn. I mean,
Point to Fairlawn right there.
one of the things that I always know the foil team is going to do great because of our coach, and there's just
Point to Fairlawn.
another point to
She had the
Fairlawn.
right of way. She went above, so she faked low and then went above on Nina. That's probably
She's-
easier for her since she's a lot taller.
She jumped around. Ah, and Nina got a point.
Nina got the first point. She just kind of held her ground. The other
Stick
girl
it
was
in
kind
there,
of like
yeah.
jumping around, jumping in. She kind of held her ground and just kind of held her blade out. The girl almost jumped into it in
She
a way.
just jumped into it, yeah. And
Very interesting point.
I love seeing a coach walk back. A lot of people, I didn't even know this for a long time, but our head coach was actually #1 in the country
Wow,
for
that's really
collegiate
interesting.
foil fencing. She's an incredible fencer, and it was just a point to Fairlawn. Making
Last
the
point
winner.
went to Fairlawn,
Yeah.
making it 5-2.
But even
Fairlawn
that,
winning with 2
Nina's-
minutes left.
Nina's got a smile on her face. But
Yeah,
coaches,
Nina's got a smile on her face. She's just very upbeat.
yeah, coaches. You see Coach go up there and help them, and I'm just like, I know Coach has got
Now
them.
we have-
She's an incredibly talented
Yeah,
fencer.
very good
Yeah.
coach. We have 2 coaches, and they're both amazing, and we love
They
them.
are. They are both amazing. They do a lot. They put
They
together.
do a lot of work, yeah.
Yeah, they put together an entire novice tournament just so that our junior
Yeah.
fencer, our younger fencers,
I'm a newer fencer.
unexperienced,
Yeah,
could
I'm a newer
fence.
fencer, so
Yeah.
we don't really have that much exposure to other teams since there are 44 people on the fencing team.
Yeah, and only 9 people. You only need 9 people for a team,
Yeah.
so it's a lot. But
Speaking
right now,
of
yeah,
varsity,
speaking
we
of,
have
Alyssa
Alyssa Toy,
Toy.
the captain of the foil team, up
Yeah.
to bout right now. She has a very interesting strategy. She's very fast. She's very
I'm gonna say militant.
militant.
Because that I think is actually where she wants to
That's
go
true.
to the military. I think I just spoke to her actually. She got a 3 years scholarship at Werner, I believe is the name of the
That's very
university.
good. She has a very interesting,
Yeah.
very a bit eclectic style,
Uh,
but it
definitely.
works in her favor.
It does.
Definitely.
She
She's
placed
very-
at counties.
She did place at counties.
I think she got a
third place,
Yeah, she placed at counties, and she's
so it does pay off.
all around. I think she has a really good indicator
She
overall
actually-
of bouts.
Speaking of,
Yeah.
she has a 17-5 record. That's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
outstanding.
Yeah, that's very good.
So I hope that keeps up today. So
Sometime-
to make it 18-5.
Whenever I like to think ahead, like who's gonna win, who's not gonna win. Whenever I look at Alyssa, I'm like, oh, this is guaranteed bout.
Yeah,
Because
Alyssa's got it. She
she
has
knows.
this. Wow, that last
Speaking
point was
of got
very
it.
interesting. They kind of were both very close, and in that
Getting
situation, a lot
infighting,
you
yeah.
could see a lot of like sawing, which is where they just kind of like go in and out since it's a point sport.
Yeah.
But Alyssa had a very composed way, just like she did once again.
once again,
She kind of went around the other girl, twisted her body, and kind of just like went straight in. It was really interesting.
which
Giving her the last 2 points, making it 2-1 with 2 minutes 20 seconds left. Yes.
Yeah. I believe this is called infighting, right?
Yes, infighting.
Yeah.
It's where like
It's
say
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
really interesting. Say 2 fencers are fencing and they go in, they kind of miss each other since it is a point sport. That's easy to do. If they miss each other, and this usually isn't allowed, but it's very interesting in infighting, you could you notice their back foot's always behind, they never cross their feet. You could actually cross your feet without taking a step and moving, keeping your blade along your chest and going in to hit the other person. It's a very interesting move. Alyssa kind of did that when
Yeah.
she twisted around. It was really interesting. Alyssa will do whatever she needs to do to get the point.
She'll go. She'll get it.
Yeah.
I would like to she has a lot of strength in that. I think that really
Yeah,
helps
that's
her.
really
She
interesting.
does a
Last
lot
point was
of-
simultaneous.
Yeah.
And a point to Fair.
No, that was a point to Alyssa,
Point to
yeah.
Alyssa.
she's very strong. I think that really helps her. She does a lot of military training.
Yeah, she's very strong.
She passed some like military tests very recently, and so that definitely helps her.
Last point to Alyssa, making it 4-2.
I think a lot of people try to break through her parry,
Yeah, you
and
can
they
see
realize
it.
it's not
No,
gonna
they
happen.
cannot. It's very hard. She holds blades down very hard.
She's very strong, and she has a small frame, and people don't realize it. And
She
there's
kind of
a-
like,
a
yeah,
point
it's
to
really
frame.
interesting. She kind of like bends her back and goes
Yeah.
under. It's really interesting because most people don't do that. They just go straight in because they don't know what else to do and they're panicking. So that really gains her the
Gives her an advantage. Yeah.
advantage.
She goes in like the same. Yeah, she has a very distinct position that she
Mhm.
goes into for that. And it's really interesting to see.
I think she does really intimidate
See?
her opponent.
Yeah,
like
she-
she would
it's
intimidate
definitely-
me, and I'm
She-
just watching.
Yeah, I'm just like watching. I'm like, oh man, this
Last
is
point was
scary.
off target.
And
So
it,
no point.
one of the things that happened more with foils and point to Alyssa.
Final point to Alyssa.
5-3.
5-3 with 1 minute 45 seconds left. See, both the opponents smiling, talking
Yeah.
after their bout.
Alyssa-
Very well.
Yeah, Alyssa the Honey Badger, as we call her.
Some
Yeah.
people do, that's true. Now up we have Ashley McDermott. She's a sophomore, and this is her first year on varsity.
Yeah, she's definitely really come up very quickly. She's done so well.
She takes private lessons.
She does. Her grandfather was a coach for one of the teams nearby in New Jersey. One of the
Offensive
towns
coach.
nearby. Yeah, and he's known as a very good coach. And she, Ashley's just so you don't
Ashley
even
is-
expect it.
She's very fast. She's a very quiet person. Ashley's
Yeah.
very sweet. She's very quiet, but she's like
She's
a beast in
a
fencing.
beast.
She's great.
She's so good, and she's done so
actually-
well as a sophomore.
Yeah, she made finals in districts and counties.
Oh yeah.
In 5th in a 4-way tie.
Yeah, it was. She was good. Like I don't think there were any other people that were that young.
Speaking of, she
there
just
weren't
got
many.
the first point through a very
Yeah.
interesting kind of high-low situation.
She does very well, and she's so like humble about it. She's like, yeah,
Yeah, she's
like,
humble.
Yeah,
She's
I'm,
really
I'm
nice.
just gonna go and fence and be
She just
chill.
got another
and-
point going to Ashley.
Yeah, she knows what she's got to do. She's fast.
Point to Fairlawn. Just got the last point,
Yeah,
making it 2-1.
she.
He just had 3 points in the first 15 seconds. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, you can see
Off
you can see
target.
Ashley smiling through her mask. Even when she doesn't get the point, she'll still smile. And it's so funny and it's so endearing. And it's like this is why I do fencing, to see
Last
someone
point.
smile when they
Yeah, that's really.
they don't win.
That's great.
Yeah, it's I love watching Ashley's facial expressions through her mask. So I think that last point was her 3-1.
3-1. Yeah, Ashley's winning. She just got the last point through kind
Oh.
of infighting, but kind of not. Wow, you see how she got out of that?
She got out of that pretty well.
That whole situation
Ooh.
was really tough. She got out of that really well. Like they were almost like they were very against each other, like caught in the air.
Yeah,
And she got out of that and went under. Was able
Yeah.
to get a simultaneous.
and
in
she
which
and
case
she
she
got
had the
that,
right
yeah.
of way, so she got the point.
4-1. She got caught in the blade a couple times.
Not even a minute left, and we have over 5 points scored.
Yeah.
It just really
Oh,
shows
man.
you a testament to this. Wow, that was
Ashley
a really
went
interesting.
straight in. It was just like a little
That was
jab.
a gorgeous,
Ja- it was
very like
really
stomp
nice.
and hit kind of
Yeah.
procedure. I haven't seen that before. It was so fast I barely even saw it.
She just did again right now, a little bit slower. But I've seen her do that a couple times. She will just get in and get out,
Yeah,
like
that's
just
really
that point.
interesting.
And
She just got the last point, won it for
Yeah.
Valley, making the overall score, losing the tie, making it 13-11. We were tied for a long time, so that's very good.
oh yeah, it's getting down close. Epe,
Sucks.
ooh, one of the girls who just ran onto the strip has a Night Vale shirt, which is a very good podcast. I suggest you listen to it. It's funny.
The
It's
people
humorous.
don't care about the podcast.
It's Night Vale. It's a good podcast.
So now we have Christine Hamza up for Epe.
We have a Epe, arguably one of our strongest squads. It's just jam-packed with amazing fencers. I mean, all of them are amazing, but the Epe squad has every year they won first place at district. So the Epe squad is actually going to states, which is really great. It's been a little while since we've had a squad go to states. I know my freshman year they went there, and it was a really cool thing to see. But they'll be going later in March, I believe. They'll be going to states. So I love getting a little taste of what they're going to bring to that.
Yep, we just tested and we're starting right now.
It's Christine Hamza, the epee who's up right now.
On
Her
the
mother,
Valley side.
yeah, on Valley side. Her mother was actually on the Wayne Valley girls fencing team when she went to high school
That's
here.
so cool.
Yeah, so her and actually our coach were on the same team together.
Wow. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. That's really cool.
Yeah, so they, I don't know if you see them, they kind of talk and
Maybe like,
yeah. So Christine, what is it? Christine's mother doesn't coach, but she is one of our biggest
team moms.
Team moms, yeah. She is one of the biggest cookers. She like lugs all the stuff around in her car, all the walking tacos.
She's
and
in charge of the one of the people in charge of the big snack bar that we hold here.
oh yeah,
Delicious food.
yeah. She does a lot, and she does it for free. So
Yeah.
none of us are complaining.
Speaking of, Christine just got the first point, which is really great.
And she's actually organized a lot of the senior night tonight. All of the food, all of that is
Yeah,
being
tonight
organized
is
by
senior
her.
night.
Yeah.
Our next point just went to Fairlawn with a very
Crazy
clean
socks
single
girl.
light.
Or awesome socks. I'm gonna call her awesome socks girl. Yeah, she's got some pretty cool socks. She does one of the things that Kat DeStefano does, where she kind of drops her blade a little bit.
It's a very interesting
Yeah.
tactic.
I think it's like invite. You know what's gonna happen. You know that this person is waiting for you to come in, but you have no other choice but to go in. You know. So I like seeing it and see how people react.
Now we're tied 2-2, and another thing about Christine is that Christine actually got second for the individual competition this year in districts.
At districts, yeah, she did very
Second
well.
place for individual.
place,
That's not
yeah.
even with her team backing her up.
Yeah,
And she
didn't
just
get
got
a
the last
single
point.
touch.
Very single
It was
touch,
really good.
single
It was
light,
a
very good.
great parry repost. I'm not too familiar with the parry reposts in foil and
Parry
and epee.
repost is where you block and
No,
then you
yeah. I mean, like the type with the foil and epee, you do like circular motions.
Mm-hmm.
We usually just do like kind of like a flick of the wrist, as we call, and we make that joke all the time.
Flick
With
of
the
the wrist.
Flick of the wrist.
See, the same things are different in the different weapons.
Yeah. So I enjoy. I'm always entertained because I love seeing the differences in our weapons
Yeah.
and it's always God, it's such a great sport to watch. Once you know what's going on, it's really it's really great.
That's true. We're closing in on 1 minute left.
Yeah.
And we have the scores 3-2 with Valley at 3.
You see, Christine went in for the attack, but it did not land.
Very close. I wonder what they're going to do in the next 30
Yeah.
seconds. Hopefully we can get a point or two.
Yep, and we got a point. Christine
Point to
Hamza.
Christine on the Valley side, making it 4-2 with 35 seconds left. Oh, a timeout is being called by the Fairlawn coach.
It's a little hard. This with epee, it's hard to come back a lot of times because just time restraints.
Yeah, because
I-
epee is the slowest one, and if there's a
Yeah.
double touch, then she still won't win.
Yeah,
Which
so
is what we talked about before.
yeah, with 35 seconds left, it's gonna be tough. If Christine wins, it's the deciding bout. So if she wins, we get 14, and that's the majority. So I think they're not eager to lose this one. They need this one
Fairlawn
if they
does,
want to
yes.
stay in. But I mean, obviously, I would
It's-
like to win. So
Yeah, it's very difficult, though, because I feel bad for this girl because it's like all the pressure is on her on Fairlawn.
yeah, that's always the worst. It's a lot of pressure. It's hard. You have to see it from the other team because you know what it's like because you've been in their shoes.
And the timeout's over. We're resuming with 30 seconds.
I think she's. I was gonna say she's gonna run down the clock, but she's 2 points behind. So
She's
she's gonna
like-
have to haul.
Yeah, she looks like she's very energized. She looks like she's back in it, ready to go back in.
She's got to be very
Christine
careful.
just went in, but it's not a complete attack.
About 14,
just got
13
caught on the
seconds
opposite
left, and
side.
Hamza gets the last
Christine
point.
Hamza with the last point, making it 5-2 and 14-11
So
with Valley winning.
Valley has won the bout. The meet, they've been a great team to fence, and I love fencing all of our teams. But it's also it's nice to win. It's nice because it's senior night, so
It is
you
senior
know,
night.
You wanna win. You wanna go out with a bang.
We're putting
last
in
hurrah.
Abby now,
Abby Zane, yeah.
so that's really
senior.
cool. A senior
Came in
doesn't
not
usually
freshman
fence
year.
on varsity, if
Yeah.
I'm correct.
She gets subbed in a little bit. She's a senior, so we're trying to get as many seniors in as possible.
Yeah, since it is senior night, since the
Senior
bout
night.
is senior night, since the bout is already in majority for Valley, we're trying to sub in people who usually might not be on varsity since
Yeah. Get them used to it because we've already won, so you don't need to like crush the enemy. A lot of times that happens when you bout teams. Like once you win,
and I believe this
you
is
sub in.
I believe this is Anissa on the Fairlawn side.
And in case you didn't know, it was senior night. You can just look
It's
over
senior
at the wall.
night. It's senior night.
and see giant pictures of our heads.
Yeah, fat heads of the
all
seniors.
That's how you know it's senior night. So we have
And the
Abby
banner.
Zane getting first point.
Abby with the first point. Very good. In the
Abby
first
is-
10 seconds.
Yeah, she's relatively new. I think she came in junior year, maybe junior or sophomore year, and she's done very well. Climbed up pretty quickly. You see her go in. You see her concentration. Ooh, and it slipped past the other team, and Fairlawn got that point.
Anissa from Fairlawn just got the last point, tying it up with 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Took 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It's like a saber bout would have been over. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
It's nice to watch. It's relaxing to watch.
Yeah, epis are very tactical. I really enjoy that. I like how you can really see what they're thinking in their heads.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh,
And
wow.
that
That
was
last
Abby.
point was really interesting.
You saw the
Abby
Fairlawn
just got the
going
last
for the
point.
attack,
Yeah, you saw Anissa on Fairlawn go in for it, but in going in so far, she forgot to block herself, and Abby was just able to just
went straight
poke
to
her
the
really
break.
fast while she was going in.
Poke her really
It's a
fast.
really interesting
Yeah.
move.
I love that she's wearing purple Converse. They're really great.
Converse must be hard to fence in,
Yeah.
but last point went to Fairlawn,
Yeah.
making it 2-2 with
She did definitely. She tried to get that one. She did a pretty good like maneuver. You just jump in and kind of throw your stomach out while pushing your arm forward. Would you? I think that would have been a very nice,
That is
very
an
cool
interesting tactic.
stop motion to see.
Yeah,
Just her
definitely.
in the air. When you it was a double touch.
double
there.
touch point, making
Those
it
are
3-3.
What Abby just did is a lot of what they do in like higher up fencing. Like when you get to this very serious, you get into the fancy
See that little
jumping moves.
intimidation right there was really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, stomping the foot on the ground to kind of
Just kind of like pretending to lunge, but not really going.
get your
kinda
opponent
to,
off guard. Yeah.
Yeah, to get them off guard, to get them off their game.
Get them off their
scared.
game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, see,
wow,
Abby
that was
doing
an
it again.
amazing dodge right there.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
She was like completely formed her body around the blade,
Think
dodging
of
it.
like four. Yeah.
Yeah, she was just like completely
Bent 10,
dodging
like-
it. She bent her whole body.
And a double touch.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It was kind of the same thing as we saw before. Anissa on Fairlawn went straight in
Abby
for the
tried
point,
to-
and Abby kind of went over while she was like, she didn't really have to even go in. It was really
I think
interesting.
she definitely tried to push out her stomach.
Yeah, definitely.
Like she like pushed out her stomach, but pushed forward her chest. She still landed, but it's just cool to see. I like seeing it.
100%. We have 1 minute left, and it's tied at 4-4.
La Belle. It's so stressful when. Oh man. 4-4. There's 45 seconds left. Oh, Miss Hams that just walked in. The legacy. And the last point went to Fairlawn.
Point just went to Fairlawn. Although Abby didn't win, this was a very good varsity bout for her since
This is
she
really
usually
good. Yeah,
isn't on varsity.
They have their varsity fencer on, and Abby is not on varsity fencer. So she went
Yeah,
toe-to-toe with
she went toe-to-toe with a
regular
varsity
fencer, which is great. I mean, it's great that I love that we have enough people to be able to sub. I mean, the team that we're playing right now doesn't have enough.
Now we have Cassie going in for
Cassie,
Valley.
another senior.
Another senior.
Not usually in on varsity, but it's senior night.
But it's senior night.
It's senior night.
Testing the weapons.
Testing the weapons.
So, just this is an honest question. Since
Yeah.
it was 14-11, if we lose the lead, do we still win?
Yeah, so there are 27 bouts, and you need to win the majority. So since it's an odd number, the majority is 14. So once you get to 14, you win. Because
So
that's the
even if
most.
they win the next 3,
Oh, there are no 3. This is the last bout.
oh,
Yeah.
so I guess we do win. Yay, Valley wins.
Yeah, we get Valley wins.
I'm
Yeah,
not.
this is the last bout of
This is
the
the
meet.
last bout of the meet. Hey, we might actually get out of here before 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
That's
it's
pretty fun.
only 5:51. We actually after this are going to be having some pizza, some
Senior
cake,
night.
a senior send off. We have a whole ceremony planned.
And meets the next 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it's a busy week. It was a point to Fairlawn.
Day in the
It'll
life.
be it'll be the end of the season for all but Epe. There's a
Yeah.
double touch right there. Epe
Double
will-
touch right there. Hold on.
Yeah.
Making it 2-1 Fairlawn with just
2 minutes,
over
yeah.
2 minutes left, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So Epe, as I was saying before, Epe will actually continue. So point to Fairlawn right there, 3-1. Epe will be continuing the practice as they, get ready for states, which is going to be end of March. So they're continuing practice while Foil and Saber will no longer. be-
Until next year.
Until next year,
For
but not for me because I'm graduating. And it's so sad. I'm definitely gonna miss.
You'll
this.
come back. You'll come back.
I'll come back. I'll visit. I'll come up from Massachusetts. Come down from Massachusetts.
Come up.
and visit.
All right. There's a timeout being called on the Fairlawn side by the
Yeah.
coach just to give a couple reassurances before they go back in.
Some words
Again,
of
the score
advice.
is 3-1 Fairlawn with 2 minutes left in the bout.
Yeah.
Last bout of the whole game. Or match.
of the meet, yeah, or match.
Meet.
As a
Sorry,
point,
I did tennis.
It's fine. Point Fairlawn.
Point Fairlawn, 4-1.
So it looks like we're coming to the end. And a point to Cassie.
Point to Cassie, point to Valley.
Yeah.
That's a really
You just
interesting
hear-
point right there.
Yeah, the entire Valley team cheering on Cassie. It's
Yeah,
really sweet.
everyone's cheering on everyone.
Yeah.
You can see the opposite teams cheering when their other team scores a point. It's really interesting.
Yeah, Cassie.
Cassie
3-4.
point again
Cassie
for
coming
Valley.
back.
3-4. Really interesting. I don't think many expected this because she is a not always varsity fencer.
She's also a very new fencer. She has definitely not been on here a lot, but she did just get a double touch, which was still a 5-4.
double touch, making it 4-5 or 5-4
Yeah.
with Fairlawn winning. Making
But
the
that was
final
a varsity
score.
fencer. Like all of
Yeah,
these are
honestly, that was a
genuine
varsity fencer. So
fencer.
all of
Doing really
our
well. They did really well. This is a really great meet, and it's a really nice send off.
yeah, technically.
For us seniors.
All right.
So thanks.
Thanks
for
everyone
having.
for listening. Valley won with the final score of 14-13.
This is Amanda Pardo signing off.
Natalie Katuna too. Bye everyone.
Bye.